You know what? Let's join Wand Club. So I'm planning on making 2 wands. This is a piece of rosewood I cut in my garden last year, and since then I wanted to make a wand out of it, and I never did, and it had been resting in my pretty wood box for about a year now. And yeah, now's the day. I think I'll just strip most of the bark, leave some bark here for the handle, and yeah, I especially like this slight curve, so you have a bit of a pistol feeling here, so it will be very smooth, very slim, and then I'll oil it up, put some varnish on the hilt, and then that's it. Then, rummaging through old boxes full of stuff, I found this thing, which is it's part of something I bought at the second-hand store, and I think it was shoe cleaning equipment, something like that. So it had like a metal piece attached here, like a hook to hang it, I don't know, on your wardrobe or something, and a large brush here. So yeah, I don't even know what exactly it is, but the shape is pretty nice, and it's wood, and it's hollow, or at least it has holes on both ends. And last winter, when I visited my family, I tried blacksmithing for the first time, and I made these. Like, okay, this one is pretty much okay. It's wanted to make earrings that look like big coffin nails or something, and yeah, those didn't quite work out, but maybe I can use one of these nails in this build. I don't know what exactly the hilt will look like. My idea is to make something else or find something else that fits and hold it together with this nail, and then put something here on the tip as well, maybe a little bone or something like that. But yeah, I'll have to scour for more things. So that project aside for later, let's start with the rose wand.
So, first of all, I really have to thank Trent from Miscast for starting Wand Club. It's just so fun to see how this fun little hashtag started a whole small internet phenomenon with people crafting magic items at home, and I was motivated to participate just as much. I saw the Wand Club video the night before starting to build my own wands, and finally using the opportunity, inspiration and motivation to record the process for YouTube. Which is something I wanted to do for years but never fully committed to, so yeah, here I am. Scrath Building is a thing now. Thanks, Trent!
Okay, so this is the rose one so far. I stripped all the bark and gave it a nice shape, a little slight taper toward the end, and I think for the shaft of the wand, this is where we'll keep it. And now I'll start working on the handle. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I find something nice as a kind of a pommel, thinking about bones again. Then we can start varnishing and oiling it up. Okay, the rose wand is finished. The exposed wood is oiled up, and the bark part, including the bone at the end, is varnished. And yeah, that's the finished rose wand. So let's continue with the black wand, the bone wand, the necromancer's wand, or whatever we want to call it.
The Black Wand was supposed to be the tool of a skillful sorcerer, maybe a necromancer, who constructed it himself to match his needs. Since I already used this nicely shaped deerfoot bone in the Rose Wand, I decided to incorporate the remaining piece into the Black Wand design as well, which came in handy since I was already looking for a hilt. I then found a weasel vertebra and a boar tooth, which, after carving them to shape a little bit, fit perfectly together to make a matching tip for the wand. I later added a second vertebra from a deer to the design to act as a connection/separation of shaft and hilt. Also, if you're wondering where I got all these bones from, I found most of them on a walk with a friend on the brink of town about 1 or 2 years ago. They might have been a lazy ranger's dumping area for roadkill, but we took the opportunity to clean them and used them in art projects ever since.
Wow, that chip of bone just flew off. I broke it. Shoot. Maybe I can fix it. Ah. Yeah, you can cut that off. Okay, I've been boring into this bone for long enough now, and I think if I try to scrape it away with the drill, it'll take forever and take me nowhere. So I think it's just a really tight squeeze, and I'll take the risk now and try to jam this nail in with a hammer. And if that works, then it's secure and it won't move either way. So let's just try that. And yeah, I know it's stupid and it might break, but I'll be gentle. It worked! It worked! Ah, shoot! Okay, it broke. But that's just like one splint. I can fix that with glue. Yeah. Shit. That doesn't go anywhere. Okay, let's try to bore a hole then. I don't know what that sound was. I think there's a piece of a screw still in there. That might be the problem. Yeah, shit. Well, that sucks. Okay, let's see if we can cut the tip of the nail off. Great. So while the glue on this one is drying, let's let's make a third one. So today is the birthday of a friend of mine, and she's a big Harry Potter fan and a big witchery and sorcery fan in general, and she has 2 cats and she's basically a witch already. So I thought, why not make a last-minute birthday gift and make a third one while I'm already making one, so I think she'd like that. So yeah, I'm just going through what pieces of pretty wood I have left, and I think this would make a pretty nice handle already, maybe like this. That's a good start. You know, I like this this idea of compound ones, like the 2 I already made. That they're made up of several different kind of elements and pieces, so that you really see someone constructed it and someone built it, and there's purpose in there. So maybe, like, this is an old piece of driftwood, and it's really, I think it's really pretty. Have that for the longest part of the wand, and put something in between here. And also, of course, I have a lot of pretty metal pieces. Maybe something from this box will also find its way into this build. Oh, this is the hook from that brush thing I used in the black wand. Ooh, now I got an idea. Actually, bones already make great wands. Why is no one using bones as wands? That's awesome. Okay, I think I found a few good pieces. So yeah, I'll stick to these 2 pieces for the largest part of it. And then I'll construct a cool little centerpiece out of these 2 things. This is an epoxy resin crystal I made a few years ago. I think that would look pretty cool inside of this little glass bottle, and it will be sealed and held in place by a cork. And on this cork, I'll put the shaft piece of the wand. They will be connected with this little brass piece, which again, in turn, is a piece of that weird brush thing from the black wand. And then this bottle will be placed here and glued in place. So the main body piece of the one for my friend is finished, but I think it lacks a bit of variance. It's mostly wood, it's mostly the same color. The only thing that really kind of pops is the crystal in the flask, but it doesn't pop as much as I would like it to. Thus I thought I might just add a little bit of detail on the whole thing by carving out a few runes or magic symbols or something like that and paint them black. And I hope that'll give it a bit more variance, a bit more visual pop to it. So yeah, now I'll carve the runes or the magic symbols, and I'll have to come up with a few for that. So let's do that now.
If you're somewhat familiar with any of my work, like read a short story or seen an illustration of mine, you might already know that designing magic symbols is one of my favorite things to do. In my fictional paracosm Aranok, people use ancient runes and glyphs for protection or guidance, and I even fancy crafting my own home decor elements with fictional symbols and letters. The glyphs I designed for the witch's wand were made up on the go. They are merely decorative and don't bear an intended meaning, but they certainly do fall into my usual language for magic stuff. However, I like the idea of this two-piece wand with two big runes on the hilt and smaller ones on the shaft being interpreted as a two-piece spell. Maybe you can alter effects by exchanging the shaft piece for one that has other runes on it, creating a new spell. Gotta say, Miscast's arcane ugly ideas are a great creative input. After completing work on the witch's wand, I could now add some finishing touches to the black wand. Some paint got damaged or chipped off during the building process, so I touched it up with some new varnish, while occasionally dancing along to some great music. Then it was finally time to put the tip pieces together and connect them to the shaft. Now, after 2 days of almost uninterrupted carving, sawing, drilling, gluing, waiting, sketching, and just having an overall great time, the 3 wands were finished.
So, apart from one little detail, all the 3 wands are finished. And here we have the present wand. I decided to paint the runes in white paint and not in black paint. It makes them pop a bit more. And these ones I left unpainted because I already like the contrast between the dark wood around it and the brightness of the fresh wood beneath it. That is visible throughout the cuts, makes it pop really good. Tomorrow I will add one single strap of metal, like the metal ring here at the end, around the flask, so it looks like the flask is held in place by that ring, and then it is finished. Also, I did not glue the cork in place, so you can still take this out, just as a little gimmick to make it look like you can take out the top piece of the wand and, I don't know, charge the crystal or exchange the crystal for something else, or even put on a totally different shaft. So yeah, it's like a little modular wand for someone who takes a few different spells with him, or something like that. That was the idea. So yeah, that's the witch wand. Then of course we have the rose wand, which is finished as well. It's the simplest one, and I think my favorite one, because it is so simple, so smooth. It's only the wood and this one little piece of bone here. It's very standard, I'd say, and I think that's a wand everyone could yield. Maybe it was given to a novice or someone who just recently started practicing magic or something like that. Yeah. And now, last but not least, the Necromancer's wand. I really like how this one turned out as well. I like that basically it's only black and white. I love the contrast, and I love that another part of the contrast is the smooth black wood, and the weird structures of the bones that don't really quite fit the slim aesthetic. But yeah, and also, I don't know why, but it reminds me of a weird flying machine or a weird insect or something like that. So yeah, I think that really fits the aesthetic as well. And of course I'm also glad that I could finally use the nail I made last year for something good. Because since I made it and decided not to use it for the earrings, mostly because I didn't make a second one, I wanted to use it in something cool, and now I finally made something cool with it. And yeah, it doesn't only have like the aesthetic purpose, but it also actually holds the pieces together. So that is more of a specialized wand, something a powerful magician might have designed and built himself from creatures and things he found and maybe used in other magic crafts or something. So yeah, we have bones in there, we have vertebra and teeth, and also a coffin nail. So yeah, that's really quite grim and only fitting for someone who is a master of the dark part of magic. So yeah, these are my 3 wands. I'm finished for now. I'll include a photo of the finished wand with the remaining ring right here. So now you know what it looks like, and that's it. That's it for the build. I finished the build in 2 days. Who would have thought? Yeah, I'm really chuffed with these results. Thanks for watching, and I guess I'll see you next time when it's time for Scrath Building. Thanks.